still with us in the dorms, and they asked us to start to follow them. We were coming out with them, and the schools were burning, were all on fire, and the fires were like almost touching us. So we were helping each other pass through it. And when we went to the gate, they asked us to sit down, and we all sat down. They burned the schools. We couldn't see any teachers because they have like they do not have mercy. They don't have mercy on anyone. So all the teachers ran away. There is no teachers in the school, and the gate man wasn't there either. And the soldiers that were outside the gate were not there too. So they have strong weapons that even the soldiers doesn't. So they cannot stand to fight them. They all ran away as well. So and while we were sitting in front of the gate, they were burning the school, the offices, they burned every single building in the school. And then they came to us. And one of the leaders said they should go and get trucks. And my own thought was like, okay, since they don't kill women, then they're going to let us go if they're done doing whatever they're doing. So, and then they asked us to start going out. We all walked out, and they're showing our direction for us to go to. And I'm like, okay, are they not letting us go? In my heart, I was like, okay, they're taking us away since they're pointing a direction for us to follow. And all of us went with them. They asked us to sit under a tree, and some of them said we should kneel down. Some of them said, no, it's okay, we should just sit down. And the rest went and brought like 3 trucks, huge trucks that we all, like they said, we should say our last prayer. They're going to kill us all. So some of us are crying. We were praying, and I have my friend beside me, who waked me up. We are together all that while, and she's like, let's just pray that they change their mind because I do not want to die. I want to go continue my studying. And in that hostel, in our dorms, they told us never to go to school again. And because they said never to go to school again, my own thought was, okay, they're going to let us go then still, since they don't want us to go back to school. But it wasn't like that. They were taking us away. We helped each other in order to climb the truck. There was a small size women car that we have to climb in order to enter the truck because it was really tall and huge. So we helped each other. They said, if you want to die, you go to the left, and if you want to leave, you go into the truck. So no one wants to die. Everyone was trying to go into the truck, and all of us climbed the trucks. The truck started moving, and while I was in that car,
So that's a Chibok girl, a Chibok survivor sharing her own experience. Yes, after they eventually released them, Alaji Shekau, yeah, she was among those released. Many of them were relocated to the United States. Yeah, since then, because you remember they were like secondary school girls. They were still young, very young at the time. And if you remember, maybe not too young, Sha, because they were sitting for their, if you remember, right, they were sitting for their they are sitting for their final WAEC examination, I think. I don't want to mix them up, right? Yeah, it was their final examination. So Werewike was the Minister of Education at the time, right? So Werewike wrote Shitiman, who was the governor of Borno State that time, that they've received an intel that Boko Haram was plotting to attack schools, and therefore they are canceling the examination in Borno State, except if Borno State government will be willing to move all these students sitting for these examinations, right? The WAEC, move all of them to the state capital, Maiduguri. So Shitiman wrote back to Werewike and said, no, they've put security measures in place, especially they put special security in place for these children writing WAEC. So that was when, well, they practically rejected the federal help. So when Chibok, a Christian community in Borno State, got attacked, when you say Christian community, I'm talking about like a massive community of Chibok. So when the terrorists struck, They started sending wrong messages to Abuja. For example, like what they are doing in Niger State right now, that majority of you are not paying attention. Oh. Now let somebody, maybe Donald Trump or somebody in America or somebody elsewhere just say something about there are still 300 missing school children in Niger State. Everybody will now come back again and say, why are they interested in our issue? Papa, I am reminding you now, 350 school children were taken in the Niger State. And majority of you right now are probably not even aware. That was what Egbere Jolantan did too. Shitty man, when the news broke, we didn't know that they've actually kidnapped the school children in their dorm overnight. The news didn't break until around 10 a.m. the following morning. By 11 a.m., when the news broke that they've kidnapped school children in Chibok, around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. in the morning, by 12 noon, another news broke. They said they found them. They've rescued all of them. By 4 p.m. that evening, it became obvious that no, they've not rescued anything. No. Yeah, when they were taking some of them away, one or two girls, they jumped down. They even hurt themselves. So the terrorists didn't even touch them. Those are the ones when the first people that ran after them early in that morning, those are the ones they saw. And the Borno state government under Shitty man was rolling out lies after lies. So the moment they realized that the girls have been taken away, settled somewhere, they now agree that the girls have been kidnapped. By then, Goodluck Egbere Jolantan in Abuja was also being fed a different story entirely. To the point that it became a clash of what have you between the Abuja and Maiduguri. Those in Abuja are saying that Borno is not giving them information or anything about what is going on. And they are like flying blind. They have no idea what is going on in Chibok. It lasted for days before the international pressure started coming in. That was when Jonathan, that's like about maybe 4 or 5 days later, that was when Jonathan and others now officially sent people to Borno State. By then, the girls were far, far, far gone. You with me? So when they finally paid the ransom and they brought some of them back, there were so many of them that were adopted. And you heard that she kind of like speaks with so much clear edge, right? Because those of them that they took to the US got the best of the best medical care, including psychological, education, and what have you. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm going to let her finish her story, right? She is a eyewitness. So to those of you who are wondering about her accent, right? She was probably about 14 or 15 when this happened. And now, I mean, this was 2014. That was 11 years ago. No, not 11 years ago. That should be, 11 years ago. This is 2025, right? 14, yeah. 11 years ago. She is in her 20s now. She's a lady, but she still relived, she probably like relived the experience all the time, right? Listen.
Moving, and while I was in that car, I was like, is this the end of all my struggling, like studying in school, dreaming of becoming a doctor? Is this where it is going to end? My hopes were like, I gave up. I'm like, okay, if this is what God wants, then it's okay. But then at the end, in that same truck, I was like, I prayed and asked God to please save me and to please let me see my families again. I do not want to go with those people. And to my surprise, something got into me and said, you should jump out. And like, I looked down at the truck was still moving. I looked down and it was, the truck is, when you look down, it's scary because the trucks move and the truck is still tall. So I'm like, no way, I'm not going to make it. So at the end, I said, okay, it doesn't matter if I'm going to make it or not, I'm going to jump out. If I die here, it's better for my family to find my cops and then go with those people and then know what they're going to do with me. So I'm like, I'm going to jump out no matter what. So I convinced my friend because she wasn't going to do it. She knows if they see her, they're going to shoot us. So she's like, they're going to kill us. I'm not going to risk it. I'm like, it's okay, let's do it. It's fine. We better die than go with them. So she's like, okay, sure. And we jumped out, but we ran. When I jumped out, I fell with my stomach. So I got up and started running to the bush. When she saw that, okay, I was okay, so she jumped out as well. And then, but we ran through different directions. We didn't got home together. While I was running in the bush, I met two of my classmates who also jumped out. I screamed because I thought they were the Boko Haram people who came to get me back. So we continued running together. From there, while we were running for hours and hours, we didn't sleep, and a motorcycle man was passing by, and we asked him to please take us home. He said he's not going to take us home without knowing who we are. So we said, okay. We didn't trust, from that time on, we didn't trust anyone. We didn't want to tell him who we are because we are scared. We didn't trust him. So I'm like, no, we shouldn't tell him who we are. Some of us said we have to tell him in order for him to help us. We need help. We cannot continue running like this. Our feet are all bloody because the bush was a thorny bush, so it scratched our skin and everything. And they're like, we have to get help. So we gave up at the end. We told him who we are, and he's like, yeah, sure, why not? So he took us back to Chibok. And while we went back to Chibok, parents from the schools went to the school, and look, there are no students, and everyone is crying, where are the students? When they saw us, they gathered around, where are the rest of the girls? We're like, we jumped out of the truck, we don't know. Some of them jump out as well, so I don't know if your kids are in it, if your daughter is in it, but we don't know, so they might get back. So be patient, and we just comfort them. Everyone is crying. While I went home, my mom was as well crying, like I'm dead. So my neighbors were there for her, comforting her and everything. And two congresswomen from the United States, Congress Wilson and Joyce, they went to Nigeria to hear the story from us because they have been hearing like a little bit of the story. They don't know the complete story. So they went to Nigeria to hear from the students who escaped. And that was how she looked for a scholarship here for us to continue our studies. And I didn't want it to continue studying because of what they said at that time. But when I was accepted in Grundy, Virginia, I'm like, okay, I want to become a doctor, save lives. Then if I do not go to school, that is not going to be possible. So I have to go to school. I'm thinking of making that decision while I'm still thinking that the voice that says, do not go to school, or else wherever you go, do not think you're safe. We're going to get you. So that voice is still there, and I'm still deciding. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to go to school no matter what. So I'm not giving up my dreams. I'm going. And that was how I made the decision of coming here to continue my study. My own prayers and hope is like for schools to be protected and for students not to go through what I went through, because it wasn't a good experience, and no student will want to go. I will never want to repeat that horrible experience. So I do not want any student to go through that same experience. And the way that will happen is if schools are protected. So my own advice is the government need to protect schools for students to go and study their careers and go out and just change the world, be involved. Without education, then we will not even all be here. Like everyone has a good position because of an education. So why preventing other children of their own right? Like it's the right of every child to go to school. That's what I believe. So if schools are protected, if the government protects its people, and the students are being protected and feel safe to study, then they will study their career and go out and be. If the schools are not protected, then many generations will not be educated, which will not be good because no one will get a good position and no one will be a leader because of educations. Some of us got to be presidents, ambassadors, chairmen, and we just have good positions. Then why is it that we cannot protect other students to study? Another day we will not all be here. Then the young generations need to be in that same position in order to make the nations, to make the countries move on. So if we are not protected to study in a safe place, and then we are being attacked, killed, and by people who do not believe in study in education, then all that dreams and hope and the dreams and hope of children studying and becoming something in the future to help the nations, then it will not be possible. So I advise that schools should be protected, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. There's one weary on Facebook, Machiavelli be something. He's been having a meltdown. He's been having problem with her accent. Probably is, I don't know, but I've got rid of him, by the way. He's been like spamming the comment section with, oh, this is staged. What kind of accent is this? How can anybody call this one Nigerian? You are so daft and so stupid enough not to actually follow the story that after the incident, which happened 11 years ago, she got a scholarship, not just herself and many other Chibok girls, given to them by two congressmen or two congress members from the United States that took them to Georgia. He is actually addressing this issue from America, but one weary on Facebook has been having a meltdown, jumping from each comment. This is staged. This is nonsense. This is the I want weary or lunatics for God's sake, man. We need to probably have a technology that's going to be asking, do you have mental problem? Is your mental health problem is chronic? Are you completely mad now? So that technology will know that the number of mad people with a smartphone and the number of mad people who have access to internet. I don't know, like, why do you get triggered? Because you are probably one of those who deny that Chibok never happened, Abby. And hearing things like that is probably making you feel so sad. Eh? Have you killing your mashimani meltdown when you are watching this, somebody telling their own story, and then you're having a meltdown, you're having a meltdown on Facebook. Eh? Go. That's the problem. We're poor Nigeria, and the reason why everybody is acting mad, they can't tell you.
My checkpoint. Come here. Come here.
Wait till they Percy, who Percy? Did they give Percy money? Okay, like now, nobody walk you there, so. Nobody walk you there.
Calm down, I me call you. Calm down.
Waiting babe there. The thing where they vex me.
Now first the verse where you can't dey.
I said the thing where they my brother, for my life again, to allow person no go fit hold me credit again, no. To hold me credit like this, I no go allow again.
Before call, you know, suppose you
I go work with your energy, with, everything, with your hungry for body, to pay the money.
Take fearless code one, make you step down your anger. Step down your anger. It's very important. You have to step down your now code fearless. So boy, this life no hard. Even if they calm down, they make you vex, but you go calm down. Take fearless. She now code one. If you drink now, you go see your temper go come down. She now drink calm. You see how you feel am? How you feel am now? How you see your body?
You're fine.
You're fine. That's my own achievement. That you're fine. Drink it finish. No, drink it finish. So don't let anybody disturb your temper in this hot sun. As I was like, are you a madman or
No.
You're not mad, so you see that you don't allow anybody to turn you to a madman. It's hot in the afternoon. You know that. So just pray to God that God, this person where they hold me, God touch his heart, may pay me my money. You understand? What's your name, Oga? Ọlá ọmọ Yorùbá ni Yorùbá ni ilẹ̀ máa lọ ń bá wọn lọ́jà ọ̀gá lọ́jà yín ẹ máa lọ́jà ẹ fi ẹni ẹ sọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ẹ máa lọ yọ̀ náà. My checkpoint.
Do you get it now? There are so many people that are mad. There are only little thing they need, because what would make somebody who I believe there is an older person having a meltdown because a Chibok girl is telling a story and encouraging that children should be protected in school, and you are having a meltdown. Now, if they ask you, the last data, other free data, they have this thing they give to them, free I think they call it free browsing, Facebook free browsing. Olórí burúkú ibi tí fẹ́ pákú sínú ibi tó wà yẹn. One meltdown because someone inú ẹ sharing our own traumatic experience. They staged it. This nonsense. Kí ló dé? Nigeria ti wá yí majority man. Anyway.